there have been several opportunities to partner with eBay, and I just want to highlight two and then ask a question. First one, the sexier one, is that we've been able to do some auctioning of Scarlett Johansson's dress on eBay, and we appreciate the opportunity to do that. It would probably be at least 6 months of my salary to have bought it, but then what would I do with it? The second item, less sexy, but in a way perhaps a more on systemic impact when it comes to sustainability, is that we've been able to go with some of your Washington staff on Capitol Hill to talk about climate change and how developing countries are adapting to this. And so that's part of your commitment as you're a member of BICEP, the Business for Innovative Climate and Energy Policy, and it's an interesting place for eBay to be and to have decided not only to do all the work you've done in the headquarters, but then to align what you're doing in Washington and what you're lobbying on climate and energy. So how did the company come to what was the conversation like to begin to align between the functions of your carbon footprinting, for example, and reducing that and making commitments and carrying that then to what your Washington team was working on? And what advice would you have for other companies as they try to work on that same alignment?
Listen to your customers and listen to your employees. In the funny way, my job as CEO is just to do both, and then to figure out which are the best ideas, to tease out what are the best, and then act on them. So in our case, something like GivingWorks or celebrity auctions where the money goes to a charity was never a strategy. It actually just grew up on eBay. In fact, Warren Buffett was one of the first. Warren auctions off a lunch with himself every year. Last year, he raised $2 million, and all money always goes to Glad Memorial Church here in San Francisco. And so it's a great way for celebrities to communicate about their philanthropic passions. And I wish more did it, but we are willing to promote them. We're willing to get it on David Letterman or Jay Leno, and So we didn't think of that they came to us. Our employees, what we're doing in Washington. The funny part is the specific lobbying you're talking about does really no good for our business. We have no business need for it. But it is part of the fabric of our company and our employees and our GR staff, or someone like the Green Team that says, this is important to us. We need to engage in this dialogue. And we're blessed with a pretty strong infrastructure around the world. So we've got access and exposure, and we try to do it. And as CEO, what was good about it, I think it helps us live out our purpose and values, but it also helps us motivate, inspire, and retain our employees. So, and we appreciate, we learn from those opportunities, and we appreciate the ability to work with you on that.
Great, well, we have time for one more question, and I see a number of hands in the room, so I think we'll go to this side here.
Hi, my name is Cara Helander, and I'm with Barclays Global Investors. And you've talked a lot about your sustainability agenda as it relates to environment, corporate philanthropy, transparency. I'm curious to understand how you view diversity and inclusion and how you include that in your sustainability agenda.
Diversity and inclusion?
Yes.
Again, let me talk about customers and employees. It starts in our world by customers. We're a global business. PayPal's in 120 countries, eBay's probably in 180 countries, got 30 different sites. And so it's a truly globally diverse community of customers and users. And it is not, you go to eBay Live, this is the heart and soul of these countries. This is a very diverse group of people. One of the most impactful moments I've had at eBay, other than having hate videos about me at YouTube, is at that very same eBay Live conference. We have a tradition. We have 15,000 employees, or I'm sorry, 15,000 customers there, and these sellers. And the last night is the big gala celebration. And we have a band, and it's in a gigantic, it'd be like Moscone Center, and this is McCormick Place in Chicago. And a tradition is built up where all the eBay employees that are there, and there are about 800 eBay employees, line the walls of the entryway and clap as the community of users come into the gala celebration. And this started spontaneously 6 or 7 years ago, where the employees were expressing, "You're the reason we're here. We are so proud and inspired by the entrepreneurialism and the creativity." And so this tradition's built, where now what happens is this event starts at 6 p.m., the doors open, and people start lining up at 2 in the afternoon. Because remember, 15,000 people come through. Believe me, you're clapping for an hour and a half. Your hands get blisters. So the doors open in Chicago. We've got 800 eBay employees all in our, lining this hallway to clap. And the first, it must have been, 300 people were in wheelchairs. And so these are eBay sellers who are handicapped. The community let them come to the front of the line. And to see 200 or 300 wheelchairs of people coming through that are making a living, that are getting validated on eBay, was just a wonderfully powerful experience. And so that's a case where, again, we enabled that. We didn't do that. But our technology enabled that. And so the diversity of our customer base is quite inspiring. And then as an employer, we're blessed with a global company. And all of our German employees are German, and our Indian employees are Indian. And because the local sites are local, are owned by the local teams. And then in the more classic diversity, I try to make sure we have a broad and diverse workforce and a broad and diverse senior management team. My predecessor was a woman, Meg Whitman. The woman running the eBay marketplace is Lori Norrington. And so we monitor women, we monitor gay and lesbian, we monitor different ethnic parts and try to make sure we have a balance and operate as a global company. And it's a little like sustainability. I don't view that as separate from succeeding in business. I view that as how do we get the most talented people and compete in a disruptive world, and you need to have diversity of opinions and diversity of backgrounds. So.
Great. Well, with that, let me thank you for being so candid with
Thank
us
you.
today, sharing so much
Thank
of
you.
eBay.
Good.